Hey everyone, welcome back. In the previous video, we have talked about how we can work with Azure DevOps to implement the CI/CD. In this video, we are going to start with the GitHub Actions. So what we are going to talk about is what is a GitHub Action and how you can create your first GitHub Action using a GitHub repository. So GitHub Action is introduced by Microsoft recently because they are owning the GitHub now, and you can also automate, you can customize, basically you can do everything that you can do from other CI/CD tools like Jenkins, Azure DevOps, Bitbucket, GitLab. So you can do everything. You can implement the complete CI/CD using GitHub Action as well. The only thing that comes as a drawback in my mind is so far is that GitHub is uses YML format. So if you are developing any GitHub action or you have to develop any GitHub action, you must be knowing the format of YML, or you must be aware about how to write YML. Because if we have seen in the previous video that even in Jenkins, in Azure DevOps, we have seen that we have to write some sort of YML code. We can definitely take the reference from that YML file and that put that. Even I'm going to provide a YML file over here with all possible things in that. But the only thing is that if you know, or if you are at least familiar with the YML file, then it's best instead of buying some other tools like Gearset, Copado, or any. I'm not defaming those tools. I'm just trying to say that this is also a better option for having all those things. So this is a very simple flow that I have developed, which is basically for Scratch org. Like we are doing this environment setup, we are doing sfdxcli install, scanner, and all those things. Then we are creating the Scratch org, deploying the changes to there, and then also deploying, deleting that Scratch org, and then we are running the security check at the end, which is for basically PMD and all those things. So this is very basic. We are definitely going to see all these flows. Now let's quickly see how we can set up our first GitHub action. So what you need to do is visit your repositories. We can take this reference of your dream in adventure, which we have also used in the previous repos. We can just go ahead and click on this actions tab, you can see, and then we just need to click on setup workflow. So what will happen? We are definitely going to see that. So let's quickly see. So this is our repository where we were pointing out inside our presentation as well. You can see here by default you will be here in your repository. You just need to click on this actions. Earlier these actions were part of beta. Now you can access these easily, so you don't need to worry about that. Now if you see that we have got multiple actions, like we have got JKL, then we have got Amazon ECS, every single thing we have got, right? Then if you scroll down, you will be getting some and as well. You can search for those. Okay, so if you see, we have got Azure DevOps as well. And if you go over here, Python and every single thing, if we search for a and ant, we will be able Java with ant. Okay, so we can just use this. We'll say set up this workflow, and then it is going to have a look like this. This is very simple workflow. We have got nothing. And then unlike the Azure DevOps, okay, it is also going to give you simple kind of thing, saying you can see here we have got instructions. You can go to the documents to talk about how you can write the structure, how you can have those things. And if we get back here, we'll definitely try to do that. If we say YML, do we have something called YML? We don't have. If we try to say let's quickly see, we will say more, and then we'll say YML. We don't have. Do we have something called let's say some other tool? We have got Android CI. Not like that, we don't have. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll again go ahead and quickly do the ant. We can definitely make the changes as per our need, which we need. So if you notice here inside your repository, what it is going to do is it is going to create a folder .github. Then under that it is going to create the folder called workflows. Under that it is going to create your file ant.yml, and it is going to if you go to preview, it is going to give you like this. You have got edit file. It is saying name Java CI. You can have anything else. Okay, then it is saying that on. So in our Azure DevOps it was trigger. Okay, in our GitHub YML, what it has? It has on which branch we wanted to have. So we wanted to have on push. What is the branch? Master. Okay, then we have got pull request. What is the branch? Master. So if we have a pull request or we have a push on the master branch, we are going to run this CI. Okay, you can have other filters, we will see those as well. Then we have got jobs. Okay, we have got build, then we have got runs on. This is again the similar. Under jobs we had job. In the CI/CD, if we talk about Azure DevOps, here we have got build. Okay, runs on, again the same thing, Ubuntu latest. Then we have got multiple steps. You can have one, you can have two, you can have three, four, so many steps you can have. And then we will also talk about dependencies and all those things. If you go there inside the documentation tab, you will see this is how you can also have, because branches are kind of things which accepts the arrays or enumeration. So you can either use this or you can use this. I always prefer this one instead of this sort of things. So I always prefer this. Then you can also have pull request like this. Okay, instead of main we can have master, and then you can also put your pull request. So that is what personally I uh, prefer, and I will also suggest you to use this kind of. This is very easy to put that. Then you can also schedule some your job to execute. You see here on schedule, you can also have your schedule over here. So let's say, make sure that whatever you have, your intention is correct. Okay, so we've got here, yeah, that's correct. It is saying that runs at, this is what basically if you hover over, it is going to tell you that it is going to runs at it now, runs at this time, and it is how it is going to run basically. Then if you want to manually run, you can also have your workflow dispatch. That basically this is something to manually run your pipeline. Okay, if you say I want to run the pipeline manually, you can have workflow dispatch and remove all those things that you have. Then you have something others like jobs, my build, you've got name, you've got runs on, Ubuntu latest is something which we always prefer. Then you have actions, you can have all these actions. Running a command, you can install like this. Okay, and then this is a simple command, you have got jobs, test, and all those things. Okay, test, build, every single thing. Now what we have is, let's quickly commit those changes. So we'll say start commit and commit new file. So now we have committed these files ant.yml under GitHub folder. If you go to your repository, you will also see this is the folder which we have just created, and it is running. You see here, we have just committed and this build is running. Some checks has not completed it. If you go to the action, you will see it is running, and now we have got the error. If you go here, you will see build has got the action error. And where we got the error? Under the build ant file. It is saying that build.xml doesn't exist because we don't have any XML file or kind of thing. So that is your very first pipeline how you create. If you again wanted to basically, this is the name of your CI. If you wanted to edit this, you can just go to the file, again edit this. Instead of Java CI, you can say that my first CI. Now here, first step we have build, right? Then we can just give the name. So let's say that we say name and we'll say build. Okay, then we can also have some other. So let's quickly say we have got one more over here, build, and we'll this time we'll say that test, and we'll say that this is test. These are what we have got. Again we'll start commit. So as soon as we'll start commit, we will be like our code will be running. We can go to directly to the actions. This is running update and YML. Now we have got two stages like build, test, and every stage is running independently. These states are not dependent with each other, and we got the error because similar thing we have, similar code we have, so we'll get the similar error for both of the stages. But if you want to have your stages dependent on each other, how you can do that? Okay, so we'll just go ahead. Let's quickly go to the action, select my first CI. You can see the name has been changed. Go to edit. Now if you go to your another job which is test, okay, you can just go here, type needs. Basically, here we have got needs. Okay, so we can have multiple over. If we have multiple steps, we can have multiple. We can provide needs, and then we say whatever the name, whatever the build it does need. Okay, before test, we want to run this build, then only a test can run. Now, if you go there, commit the changes, go to the actions. This time you will see now the link has changed. Build is going to run. If build is success, then test is going to run. Otherwise, test will not run. Okay, so let's wait. You can see here now test is not going to run. It has been cancelled. Okay. Next thing is that if you wanted to add a status badge, you can just click on this, open any CI/CD and just click on create a status badge and copy status badge. Okay, and go here inside your daemon like main readme file, because this is where we are going to put, edit this, and on the top you can just have your status badge. Okay, so if you go to the preview, you will see my first CI. This is your job which is failing, and then get back to your edit file. As soon as you will commit again, your job is going to run, because for now our job is running for every single commit we are putting on the master branch. So basically this is it for this video. Thank you for your time, and we are going to meet into the next video where we will talk about how we can make our repo ready to deploy with the help of our SFDX pipeline. Thank you.